What's your views on Nick
Facts.
saying the Holocaust was like non-existent, or not even non-existent, kind of like exaggerated to a point to
Yeah.
where that shit like
He just
kind of
kind of
didn't.
questions the
Yeah, he
stats.
kind of
It
questions the
wasn't no
stats
6 billion,
because
more like 30,000. Blah blah blah
yeah,
blah blah. Like
because the Nazi party, or well, the Nazi, army or whatever, just didn't have they didn't have the money, what I'm saying, to actually do those things.
Okay, this is something that this is like I always move through life assuming that people are smarter than me. I don't know if you guys do this when it comes to scams. Anytime somebody reaches out to me, it's like, I've got the best business idea ever. I can fucking 10x your money. The first thing I always think of when a too good to be true opportunity pops up is like, why the fuck are you coming to me with this first?
Facts.
Right? Something is fucking off here whenever I see some shit. So when somebody starts saying some shit about World War II, and they'll bring up like the Nazis didn't even have enough space. They didn't even have enough places to put Jews in that many gas chambers. My first thought is like, World War II is the most studied fucking war in all of human history. The Holocaust is one of the most studied events in all of human history. You're telling me that not a single motherfucker thought that there wasn't enough room in the fucking showers to gas that many Jews? I don't believe it. No shot did nobody think that. But you, like the 22-year-old Nazi warrior on the internet, white right 6969, you're the first guy that's thought that you calculated the space and there weren't enough Jews to fit in the showers. Like most of the claims that like, oh, the Holocaust didn't happen. Where are the Jews at? Where are the birth certificates? Like if you really do want to dig through like all of the historical evidence and read authors from the time period, like people have explanations for all of these particular things. But the thing is, nobody really wants to do that reading. It's boring. And instead we get like the clips from a podcast or from a show. And it's like, oh my God, that's a good question. There weren't enough ovens to bake that many Jews. Holy shit. And then you just walk away from that thinking like the whole Holocaust has been disproven, I think.
That's so crazy because on another subject, I was thinking the same thing about slavery ships. I was like, I kind of questioned that, a little bit. I was like, how the fuck do you bring, not like that, not putting it in those words, but I'm gonna put it in those words. How do you bring your stock over here and kill 80% of it? You know what I'm saying? You rather kill 80% of it. You know what I'm saying? Bringing it over here, boom, and then you have slavery. I don't think slavery ships like kind of actually existed as much as people say they did. You know what I'm saying? So you have those younger people like questioning the history and history books, saying some of those things did not happen. You know what I'm saying? I think black people are already over here, so.
so you don't believe in continental displacement.
I mean, to a certain extent. I mean, but I have to question it, right? I mean, just like some people question God.
Wait, are you a believer of ADOS?
What's
I
that
don't know
mean
what it
again?
is, but that sounded like a yes as soon as you said
Yeah.
that.
What's it mean again?
American descendants of slaves.
Right, right.
So basically, essentially that.
They were here.
Wait, so
Right.
you're saying
We
you
were
think
here.
that black people were already here before?
I think black people were already here before.
Have you
know
heard
what I'm
this?
saying?
This is a.
one of
I
them.
mean,
this is
yeah,
a
I think black
widely
people were
held-
here before. You know what I'm saying? That's where you have the Mayan ruins. You have the different things like that. You know what I'm saying? Different culture. I think they just came over here, conquered, and then brought a few more people over here, a few more slaves.
There's
over here,
definitely
but
a
not that
commonality.
not that crazy.
There is a commonality between indigenous people across the world, whether it be Aboriginals in Australia to the tribal people of
and Bahamas.
I mean, we're
Correct.
all human. I hope there's some commonalities, right?
Right, no, but as far as like the customs and the lifestyles of indigenous people across the world.
This is something that I'm always worried about, okay? If I'm talking to somebody in an area that I'm uneducated in, they could spin any tale they want for me and they will be able to convince me of it because I don't know the area, right? Somebody could come in here and tell me all sorts of historical facts about pre-history, pre-indigenous people in like South America, and I guess I would believe them because I don't know anything about it. The thing I always try to be careful of is like, I know that somebody could craft a narrative. If somebody's telling me something that seems to be contrary to what people commonly believe, I think at that point you kind of owe it to yourself. You really want to know the truth. You have to start diving into like different shows or podcasts or fucking Wikipedia things or libraries or whatever the fuck, because you have to be able to do the research. The one thing that I think, I'm not accusing you of doing this, maybe you do this, but I don't know, if somebody will tell me that like there's a popular event and I actually don't know if I believe like the official story. And I'm like, oh, really? Yeah. I don't know if I believe what happened in the Holocaust. Damn. Well, what do you mean by that? It's like, well, I don't know. I've done like a lot of research and it seems like the facts are questionable. And I'm like, well, what kind of research have you done? And then what they'll end up essentially doing is they'll name like 5 or 6 shows that are all in the business of selling that particular narrative. And it's like, well, yeah, of course they're all saying that. This is how they make their money. Why wouldn't they do that? I always get really irritated when people look at the mainstream media and they say, oh, those guys are just trying to make money selling you a narrative. And then they'll look at somebody like Tim Pool or Joe Rogan or whatever else, and it's like, not these guys. It's like, why wouldn't they be making money selling you like the opposite, right? People do that. So, yeah, I don't know. Anytime somebody gives me crazy ahistorical facts, I like, if there's a reason why they disagree, or if they disagree with like the vast majority of historians, I would be interested in exploring like how they disagree, not just listening to podcasts of people that say outlandish shit.
Yeah, because I definitely got that off Joe Rogan.
Who was he interviewing that said that?
He was interviewing some black guy. I don't know his exact name.
Come
but I
on,
definitely
T-Rell,
got that
bro.
shit. But it made it say it was like Nick. He was making an assumption. I mean, the history books sometimes are wrong.
Yo, we just hit 400,000 subscribers right here on the Clips channel. So if you want to help us out, click subscribe, get us to 500K. Yeah.